get.
Hey, I love that intro. Shout out to Miss Erin Bailey for that wonderful intro and graphics that she does. Hi, kids. How are you?
Hey, we're good. We're good.
Oh, so we're lucky to have Tony Pan here.
It's gonna be a fun night tonight.
That's right.
Tony, stop doing that.
I'm getting my foot up on it.
What are you doing? I'm hearing this rumbling. As long as it's not your stomach. Oh my God.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those nights. I almost took a gummy, but she told me not to.
I was like, not before the show. Come on, we have to bleep that out.
I'm gonna catch my breath. Jeez Louise. Okay. So it's been an awesome week. I know you were busy, Miss Vicki. You had
I have
flying
to
around
once in a while and do like the real job, like Road Guardians really does. It's real fun to do all bike stuff, but I was out in Boston this last weekend. Actually, it was on yesterday. Was that Monday? It was Monday. Yeah, yesterday. I was teaching a group of women called the Moving Violations. And
awesome.
Yeah, each of the women, they refer to each other as violators. You're a violator, you're a violator. And together we are the Moving Violations.
I like it.
Yeah. So anyway, they're a real fun group and I've done training for them before. So out in Boston this weekend, and
that's super cool. It's been awful cold for you guys. I know we're all sissies down here. It's 40. We're like, oh my God, we're gonna die.
Yeah, well, at least you don't have to take your sodas in the house out of the refrigerator that's in the garage because they're going to blow up.
Right? I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Never seen it, but I've heard of that. So
I haven't seen the actual explosion, but I heard it.
That's awesome. So it's been a crazy good week. I know there was a holiday yesterday, and as we continue to go along, we got our motor in, and I know we had a nice little visit with Glenn. He stopped by from Biker Wolfpack Law Group, and hope I said that right. I think I can massacre that a couple different ways every time. Glenn's awesome. It was super cool. Don and him had fun, even though it was a quick visit. And that was neato. And then
it was neato.
It was neato. Yeah.
Yes. And Glenn's our title sponsor, so he was like really eager to get down there and see the motor in person. And
I love that logo.
Yeah, I know. He really knocks out of the park, what I did, Athena, don't tell him. Okay. But I have a wolf tattoo, like a temporary tattoo. And I'm going to tattoo him because I'm going to see him out in Vegas in a couple of weeks. And awesome. We're going to have to film that. That's going to, we'll film us getting him ready. So, hey, Dennis.
That's fabulous.
Dennis is on.
Hi, Dennis. Oh, I should go over here to comment so I can see everybody. Hello, everybody. You guys are so awesome. Yes, Dennis Stauber is awesome. He's super cool. I did get a call right before we got on the show. I know it was a little later in the day, but that's how us motorcycle folks do it. Jared Seaman, who is the owner of Terry Components, is veteran owned and operated, is on board. They're going to provide our beautiful starter and some battery cables and a few other things. So shout out to them. I'll get the logo over to you. But that was a really nice call because I run all their stuff in my bikes, have for a very long time. They've been around. They're made in the USA. So that was just like hey, I'm so excited. Every little piece comes together. Scott at BDL, I spoke to him, sent him an email. So now I'm just waiting to see that he's going to send me the one I would like to have. It's like, I know you want to donate and all that, but could we get this specific one? And so I think pretty much they see the vision. I explained the vision of how I would like that particular piece because it flows with the certain pieces that we're starting to get on board, The covers will look nice engraved and things like that. So I think it's going to showcase really well. And Tony, I know that you have been working on motorcycles for, wow, 10, 20 years or more, probably.
Everybody knows what Tony is. We just assume everybody.
He's only 40, he's only 45. He plays Santa at Christmas time. So, but
you know that he was the first pan to be made in Milwaukee, right?
Was he now?
Because the panhead came around in 1948 and he was born in 1945.
See, I love it. That's fabulous.
I told Willie G that too.
I know, and I'm sure he loved that too. That's so cool.
Yeah.
But as you know, when building a bike, it's it's always off to a slow start because the major components have to arrive before you can start to actually say to others, hey, I would like to use this, I would like to use that. We have so many people involved. I talked to Gene at Clockworks today. Brian and Vanessa said, hey to everybody. They were on their way out the door. So they're going to be sending us some stuff that I requested. And so, yeah, it's cool. But, it starts with, hey, there he is, Glenn. So that was us. We let him do a ribbon cutting. There's some video somewhere. Again, technical things. Don is being very helpful with that. So he's been fitting me into his time. But, so once the frame arrives, we have the motor and the transmission arrives and we get the belt drive because it's always the frame. The motor goes into the frame, transmission, and the primary drive lines everything up. That's where you know what you need. So I know that process is a very slow process, but once it goes from there, it's like, okay, let's hang this, let's get this, let's do this, let's do that. So I'm so excited. Don is like, do you want to go to sleep? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, it's 2:30 in the morning. He's like, you got the book out. You're like, well, if I go that way or if we do that, well, let's see who sends this. And well, if we get those handlebars, and he's just like, until you get the frame, you can't measure any of that stuff. I'm like, I know, but I could kind of forethink it. He's like, only to a point, honey. He's like, so can you come be, wifey and do your wifely duties? And then if you want to go back to the book, go right ahead. I'm like,
this is a family show,
I said wifely duties.
I knew. It's
that's probably not the right term to say. That was the most adult, clean way I could say it. And if I offended anyone, I apologize because I don't mean it in a derogatory towards women way, but we're the only ones that got it, so that's how it goes.
Hey, you don't know what we're talking about. Hey, you know what? We were talking today, Athena, about when Tony first met you or when he first saw you, and I wanted to tell you that when he first saw you.
You were doing a all-female bike build during Daytona Bike Week. There was an area, I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was by a swap meet or something, but you had to go down a long walkway.
It was at the Speedway, Daytona International Speedway.
And you had to go through a gate. That was a paid part when you went past the gate to watch your girls working. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know you at that time. That had to be early 90s when I took it. And
it was actually,
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're pretty good.
I'm watching these ladies build this bike, and you built it over the week. And I came every day. I was just enthralled watching you girls work. And when it came to the part about slamming the motor into the frame was all done, and the motor was all fixed up, and someone's going to put it in the frame. I'm going, well, I wonder who they're going to get, which guy's going to come over and help them put that motor in the frame. So I'm looking around for a guy in the backstage, and Athena walks over, wraps her arms around this motor, hobbles it over and just slams it into the frame. I'm going, holy shit. I'm like, oh, sorry. Holy murder.
She caught you.
I got a timeout. 5 minutes into the program, I'm already timed out. What the hell's going on?
That's funny. And so I always, again, I had to make do for certain things. But so when we started in the shop, I would always have to figure a way to get it from here to there and put it on this and move it over. And then Don, who was my best friend before anything, years, He was the best band at my second wedding. Anyways, there's a country song in there. But he taught me how to properly do it so that I could use my own leverage. Because, like, you know, guys have more upper body strength. So you kind of got to practice at it. And then with the motor that we have, that 124, you know, the first, I did a like a this and a this, and I rubbed up against it and I felt it and I went like this. And then I set it back down and I went over and I said, honey. And he said, babe, what's up? And I said, could I borrow your muscles for a minute? He's like, sure, what do you need? And it's so cool because he has this process. He wraps a rag around his belt buckle. He gets himself ready. He gets his little things that he puts them on, and he just picks it up. I have to bear hug it. He just picked it up, walked it over. I was like, thank you, babe.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But he's been doing it for so long, and he's just, again, he's naturally talented. And you guys have upper body strength, but there is a process so that you don't hurt your back. And that's that thing. And that bike that we built, it was funny because we built that for the National Breast Cancer Foundation. And we gave it to them and everything was donated. And they didn't know how to go about raising money with it because in the States, if you weren't in one specific state, you couldn't do a raffle. You'd have to buy a permit in every state, which I know people don't understand when you do a raffle through, like, especially when a 501c3, you have to buy permitting, and that's again, fundage is needed for that and all that stuff. So what they did was they had this Italian hair company, a hair extension company, and they sold pink hair extensions. So every pink hair extension they donated to the Breast Cancer Foundation for a raffle ticket for that bike. It raised $1.2 million. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Here's a fun fact. That pink dye that they use for those extensions, that's the same stuff they put on the ice cones.
Really?
Yeah, to make the ice pink.
I like that. It sounds good. See, as long as he says it with conviction, exactly. It sounds like, so, you know, it's Tony Pan says, listen, we know it's gospel. There's no doubt.
Is that the same pink they use on these things too?
I think so.
Yeah. These are his little finger cuts.
But I could tell you that motor is gorgeous, and
it's beautiful.
Finger, right?
Yeah.
I love you.
When I work on guns, I wear those a lot.
I loved watching the pictures and the video of you at SNS. So Tony, I know you have a long history with SNS. I mean, being again Milwaukee, the first Pan ever. You saw the beginning of that company with George Smith and its inception, but you visited there long before you did this time, correct?
I don't answer questions. Oh, I'm sorry. I was watching too many police chases on YouTube today.
I love it. I love it. SNS.
Yeah. George Smith came up. He was in Wisconsin. He was in Milwaukee for something, and I was working with Mike Osborne and Mickey Helper, who just passed away recently. He was the videographer for Easy Rider. Mickey Helper. Mike Osborne
of Osborne and Truitt?
No. Mike Osborne. Oh. He's a California guy with A-Bait, and he
okay.
Yeah, he worked for one of the magazines for Easy Riders. I can't remember which one it was now. It was the Horsepower one or something. Anyhow, right. They came here and they were gonna do a photo shoot and story for Easy Riders on SNS and on the Capitol Drive plant, the assembly plant in Milwaukee. That's closed down now. It's a U-Haul storage facility now. But anyhow, they came down and they arranged to get George Smith for an interview, but he wasn't going up to Viola. He was going to stick around Milwaukee, and then he had to get back to Illinois for something. So I was working for Hupy at that time, and I said, well, we can do the interview in my office at my office building. So we did it there, kind of set it up a little bit and pretended it was in his office up at SNS, but it was actually an interview at my office. And he was such a cool guy, George Smith.
Yes.
Very friendly, very informative. He told us a lot of the neat stuff.
Mm-hmm. I met him on the drag strip when the first bike shop I ever worked in for Guy Glover at CycleWorks. He would go racing, and I met George Smith. I mean, Jim McClure. it was, as a teenager, that was like, are you kidding me? And I still know what to do with an SNSB model, no pump, like you do.
I love the fact that this bike you guys are building for this raffle, the sponsors that you have that are donating parts.
Yeah,
I've got parts. I got parts from Clockworks, from Paco, from BDL, S&S.
Yes.
I don't know who else you got, but I probably got parts from them too.
Terry components, yeah, probably. And it's funny because oh look, there's the motor. I took some pictures today.
Nice.
So the board next to it is my dry erase board. So when we decided we were going to do this, I do that when I start a project. I write a note to myself, and so that was the note to myself. So it sits on my workbench so that anytime, because not every time does everything go smoothly. And anybody who says that you don't run into obstacles when you do things is just lying to themselves as much as everybody else. So when I get frustrated, instead of, going on a rampage or being bummed out or whatever, I start out by writing myself a positive note. And it's a constant reminder of, listen, nothing is easy, because if it was, everybody would do it. So you put your time and your love into it. So that's my message board. It's kind of funny because Don's like, you know how many messages have been on that board? And I'm like, yeah, a lot.
Your approach to anger management is just about the opposite of mine.
It's easier too that way. I mean, like, it's kind of strange because, like, the other day we were at the gas station and I was buying my stuff, and the lady behind us, two people behind us, were just like, absolute. She was so in a hurry, and she ran up kind of next to behind me. I couldn't see her. And she's like, told the lady, can I get a pack of cigarettes and blah, blah, blah. And the lady, the cashier, who, we've been going there for years, kind of looks sideways at her, and she looks at the guy behind me. She goes, oh, I'm sorry, you were in line. She goes, but these people are taking way too long. And in my 20s, I would have behaved worse. So I just said to myself, I didn't look back. I said, I'm going to put my stuff in my purse and take as much time as I need, just like I would be respectful to anyone else if they were in the same position as I am at the counter right now. And she didn't look at me, didn't say anything, and then went to the other side of the line. I walked out. And then, of course, when I got outside, I was like, good thing I'm not 25 anymore, because, and Don's like, he goes, I thought that was going to be a bad situation. I'm like, no, there's no need for that. We have things to do and be positive and do good things in the world. People are just angry about a lot of things that we have no control over, and we just ran into them that day. So, as long as you don't, there's too much nonsense. We need good, positive stuff. So yeah, I have a good thing. And I write notes to myself all the time to tell myself, hey, be a good little girl. Santa will like you for that.
Becky says she'll be your side muscle.
I know. She's so awesome.
Lacey's on here. Chris Summer Simmons is on.
I saw that.
Telling you something.
Hey, Chris.
Rob,
yes.
I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, but Rob El Tigre.
Yeah. And Tommy Schneider.
Tommy, yeah, he's doing stuff with us. I mean, there's, the community's coming together. So
I love it. And everybody's.
I call Rob Mr. Scratch.
Oh yeah, he's good.
I like it. Yeah, he's good at that. And Lisa Hathaway, we got lots of good people here watching, and we're so very appreciative of your support, because this is gonna be a story that is just it'll be stashed here, but it'll end up being legacy. You know what I mean, for the motorcycle world around us.
Tony Pan on here for.
We have Tony Pan on here for. We have Tony Pan on here because
what's he doing?
We wanted to ask him about some inspiring words, because Tony Pan can inspire you. I don't know if a lot of people know that or not, but as silly as he is definitely an inspiration. So Tony, I wanted to ask you something. Uh-oh. When you first started out building bikes, like say you're Panhead, so you started out, when you decided, okay, well, this is what I have to work with, what was your process? How did you end up with what you ride, and you say, okay?
I'm not what you'd call a builder. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are builders. I'm more of a garage mechanic, but my approach to things were, I never bought a new bike until when the heck was that? What year is your fat boy. 1993. I've been riding since 1964. 93 was the first time I bought a new bike, and that's only because I got a insurance settlement after some woman tried to kill me with her car. But anyhow, that's another story. Whenever I got a bike, I looked for what I could get cheap. My first panhead was a police bike from Waukesha, which is where we live. It was a tank shift panhead, 1950 panhead, 51 panhead. I paid $350 from it. Bought it from Uncle Ralph at my Uncle Ralph. He was everybody's Uncle Ralph. West Side.
I like it.
Yeah, neat guy. He passed away, but one of the really cool shops in Milwaukee, the old time, small time shop. Not a
right.
But every bike I got since I've been riding in 1964, if it was stock, and I've had very few stock bikes, but the few bikes that I did have stock, the first thing I did was take whatever I could find that I didn't need off of it. Windshield, spotlights, front brakes. I stripped it down pretty much to what I really wanted. The bike I have today, that Panhead I have today, was actually built by the guys out at Custom Cycles. They used to be in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Now they're out in Janesville. Jimmy and Billy Jones, really good guys, build really nice stuff.
Nice.
But that bike was pretty much nice when I got it. And I've made some changes over the years, not to make anything. Well, I guess I made a few things. I improved a few things, but it was mostly changing some things to be like the way I liked it. I just got done putting on a sissy bar and welding the tabs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mount the sissy bar in the back of the 40 at a short 40, not even a 45, maybe a 30-degree angle back. And then I built a rack for it because it's not what I call cosmetic or anything. But it's going to work because I'm going to be doing that loop this year, and I need a place to put a bag and hang my tools and bags for tools, and I got to put these saddlebags on again, which I don't want to do. But as you know,
what was that? What was that? The loop? I missed that too. I know you probably hear beeping in the back. Chef, do not tell has baked potatoes in the oven. He's cooking.
That's what I was saying.
I thought maybe you were having some sort of weather alert because it was below
Craft services. That's craft services. He's always craft services. So tell me this. A lot of people know that you've worked with Hoopy and Abram, and that you're a freedom fighter. But what inspired you to just hop on a motorcycle and then realize that our rights were being taken away because of the way we looked, dressed, or what we rode, and decided to go out and do that? Most
of us, first of all, I don't like being told what to do. Vicki pisses me off. She pisses me off.
I concur.
No, but, it was like 1968. I was riding my Panda downtown Milwaukee, and a cop pulled me over. And he says, "Aren't you forgetting something?" I'm looking around, and it says, "My battery's there, my gas tank's there." I have to say that because I did lose a gas tank one time. And I kind of looked around and said, "What am I missing? There's nothing there." There was nothing missing. I thought he was going to get me because I didn't have mirrors on. I thought that's what he was talking about. I didn't have a mirror on my bike.
Right.
He goes, "Where's your helmet?" I said, "Helmet? What helmet?" He says, "You're supposed to have a helmet." I said, "Since when?" He says, "Since 1966. This is 1968. But they didn't start enforcing that until 68 in Wisconsin.
Okay.
And I went, "I'm not putting no damn helmet." He said, "That's the law. You got to put." At that time, it was, I think they got you 1 or 2 points, and it was like a $25, $27 fine, which my employment status at that time was, I was working for the city of Milwaukee, making like $2.49 an hour. So I was going to say that
$25 was like $2.50 now. Like
$2.50 an hour, not $25.
No, but I mean a $25 ticket.
Yeah,
that's like
you could buy 4 bags of groceries for $25.
Right.
But anyhow, I figured, well, I can afford maybe 2 or 3 tickets, and then I'm going to be broke, so I'm going to have to look for it. So I got the cheapest rundown nasty helmet I could find. Had chips in it and holes in it. And I don't even know where. I think it was an old football helmet or something. And I didn't like it because it was too restraining. So I went and got a half helmet. And of course, right away, I had to put my impeach Nixon sticker on the back. And we kind of rode around, and I was mad. I says, when the hell did this law pass? And we were talking to all the guys in the bike shops and stuff, and nobody really knew what the hell had happened. And we started organizing, but everybody was complaining about it. And then when I do the history of ABATE, I talked to people. I said, Luke Kimsey said something really inspirational that caught me in that. I think it was the second or third copy of Easy Riders. He said, we can all get together and stand on the rooftops and shout and be mad. He says, but it's not going to do us any good. You need to get organized, get together, and don't worry about what the people are saying, the public.
Right.
Go to the legislature, because those are the guys that can repeal the law, not the people. And there was a big push, to be proper and prim and be friendly. Back in those days, the crowd I hung around was anything but friendly. and we didn't care about. We weren't mean, or we didn't disrespect the public, but I didn't care if somebody didn't like the fact that I was riding without a helmet. That was their problem, not mine. I said, hey, it's my choice, And back then it got pretty rowdy with the helmet law, but we got it done. We got it done in like 3 or 4 years. I started ABATE here in 1974 with another guy. And by 78, 77, we had the votes to repeal it, but we ran out of time. So they had to take the vote in January of 78, and that's when we got the repeal. And of course, the lieutenant governor, kind of a little wormy guy, he took over for our governor, Patrick Lucy, who went to become the ambassador of Mexico. And this little, Martin Schreiber, his name was, like Sergeant Schreiber. So I don't know what the hell. Cool. He vetoed the bill right after it passed. And man, I tell you what, we had peaceful protests up to that time. And in 77, there was rumors that if the bill passes, he was going to veto it. And we said, this is Dick Smith, who just passed away. He was the president of the Wisconsin Better Bikers Association, another group, like ABATE, much bigger group than ABATE. He said that this would be the last peaceful protest. We just wanted to put the legislators on notice that, hey, we would come to the Capitol with, I'm not talking about a couple hundred people like you see in some of these other states show up for their helmet repeals.
Right. Thousands.
The first one had like 5,000 or 6,000 people. Mm-hmm. That was the very first one. Then it went up to 12,000. By the time we got into a couple of years in, we were getting 20, 30, 40,000 people at a helmet rally. 1977, we told the Bikers of Wisconsin, our two organizations, that this is it, do or die. We have to get this bill. We have to repeal this bill right now because we got everybody on our side. We don't know who the legislators are going to be next year. So we had enough to do it. And that's when we said, hey, we used to come there. We'd leave the Capitol cleaner than when we got there. We picked everything up. Never had a problem. Nobody was ever hurt at a rally. One guy was arrested for jaywalking. One of the people that lived in Madison, he was jaywalking, and he got arrested for jaywalking in front of the pack. Otherwise, it was perfectly peaceful. But we said that's all going to change in 78 if this bill doesn't go through. Then, of course, little Marty vetoed it, and we had a field day with that. But we riled up the legislature so much that we got a 2/3 vote in each house to override the veto. We're the only state that ever overrode a veto on a helmet law.
I love that. That's fabulous.
In those days, we didn't go there and we weren't real polite. We didn't want to stand around getting our pictures taken with legislators and with the DOT. It was really antagonistic back in those days. We learned to get along with them now, although I still don't trust legislators. But a lot of people do, and they want to get their picture taken. But I'm like, go ahead. But I understand how the game has to be played. But
it is like a chess game.
I to think that those guys are really our friends.
Right. I love that picture of you. Well, I wanted to tell you, thank you for that, because that again is a legacy that we're all respectful of and we're all grateful for, because you've shown us through that exactly what we're doing here is that united we stand. And the motorcycle community and culture, we come together for not just to protect our rights, but to protect that legacy and our history and our right now and then our future. So that is so imperative to what we're doing. And it just shows that that's how tight-knit it's always been. And to just think exponentially how this has grown. I mean, I know not everyone's a fan of social media, I know I'm derelict when it comes to not putting enough up there and doing the things that I'm supposed to do in the regard of keeping up. But it's just incredible how the message gets so far and so fast now, you know, and so we're putting out the right message, and it's cool because a lot of people don't know that history. Like I was showing somebody the other day the first issue of Easy Riders magazine, and I showed them the Paco ad, and they're like, I didn't know they've been here that long. I'm like, yeah, well, again, that's where we come from.
What's so exciting too is that we're working with Easy Riders, and that's where this started.
Oh yeah,
you know, like this all started. You know, maybe it started with Easy Riders, and you know that was over 50 years ago that he started A-Bait, and you know, like to be here yet doing this, and now having it come around to that we're working closely with Easy Riders. We get to work with Paul. We get to, we get to work with Paco. You were saying, like what it was Paco.
It's crazy cool.
Yes, it is. I know.
It's like, amazing.
Just I'm
Keith Ball was the first national director of A-Bait, working with Luke Kimsey.
Yeah,
and he was.
I do know that.
I've known him since '74, and it was a year later that he. I think it was a year later that he had to drop out for a little while because of a rule that he had no patch holders could be running the officer position in A-Bait. That's changed now, but he came back, which I was really happy because he was Mr. A-Bait. And the Easy News, the old brown part and the thing with the Easy News. They kept you kind of updated on what was going on in other states, but even the Easy News was about a month or so, month and a half behind. They couldn't put it in the regular magazine because it'd be like 3 months. They got like 3-4 month lead time. But but that's on that polished marble paper with the nice photographs, the shiny paper. They put the Easy News on brown like rag paper because they could print that and they could insert that in a magazine after it was printed or at the time of printing. So that could be the last thing they put into that magazine. So we can get like within a month or so. Month of news.
And I know we always traveled. When we traveled, you always checked Easy Riders magazine for the states because they had the list of what states were helmet law states. And I know there were times when I would say, okay, well, we're going to go there. But like, how old is this issue of the magazine? Somebody would only have one. They'd be like 3 or 4 months. And I'd call the office up and I'd be like, hey, I need to know this. They'd be like, who are you? What are you calling for? And then I'd say, oh, I just need to know that it's up to date. And they'd be like, oh, yeah. And they'd look and they'd be like, okay, little girl, here's the deal. Bring your helmet. I'd be like, okay, fine. That's cool.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. We didn't, even when we traveled, we used to go to Indiana for drag races and Ohio and places. Those states were pretty much free by that time. But a lot of the other states, when we went south or west, you still had to have a helmet. We never carried one with us. And this little violator, speaking of the moving violations. Yeah, she went to Missouri, all the way down through Missouri, Kansas City and back without a helmet. And Missouri still had a helmet on that. So I was proud of her.
That's awesome. It's like, hey.
I put a baseball cap up on and then I put my hoodie over the top of that. And they just thought I was wearing something.
But we should get off that topic of helmets because anyway, there's a lot of you have two different views on that. I got my view on that.
That's, in 2002, he was the first freedom fighter to be inducted into the Motorcycle Hall of Fame out in Sturgis at the museum. So, when we think about how this all comes together, two of us, we have such a close relationship with the museum, with just the Black Hills in general, the Sturgis Rally. We were married on top of Crazy Horse.
Right.
It's just, we have this great relationship in that area. So it's exciting to be able to do something that's going to benefit them as well as Road Guardians. Hey, who's that?
Hi, honey.
Hi, honey.
Go.
How are you? Hey, lady and Mr.
I can hear his voice, but I can't see him. You're about that big in the picture, Don.
Yeah, you're tiny.
I can't hear nothing.
Can't hear you nothing. He's like, what? Oh, there's an earbud, babe. You want it? Don't touch the end.
No.
If you touch the end, you'll turn it off.
How are y'all this evening?
How you guys doing? Huh? There you are.
There you are.
Yeah, now I'm not so small, huh?
gotta put my glasses on.
That's what I'm talking
The
about.
woman who's
There
behind
we
the
go.
man. I think we have the man that's behind the woman. I think
So-
we got that thing
yeah.
going on.
So, yeah, for everybody watching who doesn't know, no, I don't have an invisible husband. I don't just wear the ring. Some people say that. This is my handsome man, my husband, Don. He's the genius. This man is the one. Motorcycles literally talk to this man. I know it's difficult to understand unless you've experienced it, but like they won't even leave my shop. Some days he's like, it's so frustrating. And I'm like, yeah, but if you stood over here and watched me watch that motorcycle tell you, nope, I'm not ready. You got to look at this first because you're the guy I came here for. It's kind of cool. There he is.
You called me a builder before, Athena, and I said I'm not a builder by any means. When I look at Donnie, I says the only thing that me and Donnie have in common is we probably both lost a 10mm wrench at one time. That's about
somewhere.
Somewhere. Yes, he's a hard worker, and he's been
all good.
He's always been in shops. Like he built winning Discovery bikes. He built Rat's Hole winners in the 90s, and so everything I do,
I'm building dinner.
Yeah, he's building.
I
dinner.
don't wear a watch.
Then he makes
but-
dinner. Wow.
Yeah, I gotta go check the oven.
Thanks for popping in, babe.
I cook. I'll cook for you when you come up here, guy. Again, I cook
for you when you come up here.
I cook for you.
Of course.
You did. You cooked for us.
Yeah.
That's so funny. He's like, no, I don't want to pop in. I'm like, no, you're going to pop in. He's like, no.
Yeah.
Yes. He's a big part of what I do. He's my partner. So it's not just me.
That's what we were saying. We were like, these it's really these guys in the background, they're standing in the background, but they're really helping us, Tony supports a lot of these crazy ideas I have and these things that I do. And,
doesn't pay to fight. Can't fight it. She wins anyhow. So
that's Don says, he's like, all you have to do is just like, give me that look. He's like, I can't say no to that. And it's
I asked what he thinks, but I already have my mind made up. But Tony, one of the things I wanted to have you say is like when I won that motor, talk about that and how you.
Oh yeah, please.
Well, the first thing I said was, "Oh no." I was happy for her, but I'm thinking, what are you going to do with it? So she told me, and then after she told me what her plans were, the raffle thing, I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that's a good idea. I was afraid she was going to try and have me pull a motor out of the Fat Boy and replace the 100-inch motor with the 124-inch. She keeps going for bigger inches. That's a woman thing, I think. But anyhow, we were at S&S years ago on one of her women's rides, and the S&S had not come out with it yet, but they had finished making the 140-inch motor. And when we got there, they said, "Hey, you guys want to see our brand new motor?" So we said, "Yeah." And it was about 75, 100 of us. Something. It was a pretty good group. Yeah. And they brought the motor out. Well, they didn't bring the motor out. They brought a bike out with the motor, one of their test bikes, and had this 140-inch motor. And they were going through all the details, giving us all the specs and everything. And he said, and if anybody wants to ride this bike today, try it out and see what it can do. We're going to let you guys take a test ride. If anybody's familiar with S&S, it's really rolly country, all hills and woods and stuff. It's really cool. And as these bikes weave through these hills, they can be probably 2 miles away. And if they got good, strong pipes, you can still hear them echoing way back 2 miles away. So it's a really neat place to ride.
It might kill you. He says, but you got to be careful.
I'm telling this story.
Yeah.
So anyhow, he said this 140-inch motor will go, whatever he said, how fast it was and how much torque it had. And he says, it will kill you. And she goes, yes. So he said, and she was all happy about that. So the guy says, so anybody that wants to take this for a ride, except her, can take it for a ride. And they wouldn't let her take it for a ride because she said, yeah. I know Hardtail Willard, the president of the MRF, he took it down the hill for a while. Took it for a ride.
He's awesome too. Yeah. Another great guy. Absolutely. That's so cool. And I love that because, again, how it comes to be is that you were supposed to sell the tickets. You bought the tickets and you won the motor in a raffle. And then now we're going to end up building a bike that's going to be in the second year of a raffle. Cause I think the museum last year was the first real raffle they did for stuff like that. Right.
No, I want
to do it all the time.
I won a bike there. Charlie Brechtel, our brother Charlie, he he got a bike built from a guy out in California and brought it to the museum, and they were going to raffle it off to raise funds for the Sturgis Museum. This was
They did raffle.
yeah, they did raffle. It was like
They were
2016.
going to.
Oh, cool.
2016, something like that.
And he
Anyhow, I bought a ticket. I said, well, I got to support my brother Charlie.
Yeah.
So I bought a ticket for the museum, and they're going to do the drawing on Saturday of Bike Week. Well, we always go home on usually Thursday or Friday. So we were already home. And old people like me, we go to bed early, like 10 o'clock, usually. But then I'll watch TV until 2. But anyhow, I was tired. We just got back from Sturgis. We rode back straight through, got back home, and I said, I'm beat. I'm going to bed. So we went to bed. And about 11, I don't know, midnight, right around midnight, the phone's ringing. And I said, who the hell's calling me at 12 o'clock at night? And she said, well, go see. I said, I might let it ring. So I just rolled over and went back to sleep. I'm not one of those people that lives, has to have my phone attached to me like another appendage. So I just said, let it ring. Well, next morning, the phone's ringing again. I'm sitting there eating breakfast, and it's Charlie Brechtel. And he goes, Tony, he says, why didn't you answer your phone? I says, why? He says, that was me calling you last night. I was calling you from the big stage. We were going to put you on the microphone so everybody there could hear you. You won the bike. I says, you're kidding.
Oh, that's cool.
And I bought a few tickets. I don't know if they were $10 a piece or whatever, but I had $40 invested in tickets on that bike.
That's
right?
awesome.
So I shouldn't even tell this part of the story because I don't want to get anybody in trouble about getting it here. But we arranged to get it here without costing us a dime. Got delivered right. Got delivered right there. A woman that was working with the fleet, the Harley fleet. She put it on one of their Harley trucks that brings
transports. Yeah. Oh yeah.
On their way back, they just made a little bit of a detour in Waukesha and dropped it off right at our compound. So it didn't cost us a penny because I'm thinking, how the heck it's going to cost us $600? Yeah, either if I go there and pick it up and come back with hotels and gas, or if I have a truck. So they brought it, didn't cost us a dime. So then I put it in a compound, and Vicki says, you better call the insurance agent and get insurance on this. For what? We don't need insurance. I'm not riding it yet. She says, well, you got to get insurance on this bike. It was supposed to be it was a big stretched out, like a Paul Yaffe kind of bike. All right. Yeah. So anyway, it was a fancy one. It wasn't a bagger. It was a chopper.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Chopper.
Big chopper. Yeah. So I said, we don't need insurance on it. She goes, what if it gets stolen? I said, I'm out $40.
Oh my God. I love you. You're so bad to the bone. So
anyway,
Lisa Hathaway said, go ahead.
There was a whole motorcycle that Charlie had raffled off. He had a couple other things that he raffled off for the museum to benefit the museum a couple of times.
So that
I absolutely forgot about that.
Probably the only other raffle that they had done, but isn't it something that we both won? Won something there.
You can't win if you don't buy a ticket.
That's it. You can't win if you don't play. That's right. Now you're both Hall of Fame members. So
Charlie says that Woody from the Buffalo Chip, he pulled the winning ticket out and he calls my name. He knows me, but I don't think it registered because he's saying my name and looking around to see if I'm jumping up in the crowd or something.
Right.
And Charlie heard that. He goes, what? And he says the name again. He says, who? Charlie goes, who? And he goes, that's Tony. And then Woody goes, oh, okay. So then he's yelling. And of course I wasn't there. I couldn't hear him all the way back in Milwaukee. So
in Milwaukee, that's so funny. And how cool that you were just in Milwaukee and Harley Davidson just happens to be there. So you could just stick it on the truck there. I'm sure they love that. So Lisa Hathaway, I think we were talking about that was a while back in the conversation.
And she's asking.
And she said, "What's STEAM? If we're coming to STEAM,
seminar to train, educate, and motivate." So that's put on by MRF, and it's in the it's just several states in the Midwest.
What's going to be this year in Milwaukee?
But yeah, is it going to be in Milwaukee? Oh, okay.
Well, Brookfield, where it was over by close to Moreland.
Well, maybe we'll stop by to say hi.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to just watch everybody. Everybody here is just like commenting, and I'm so grateful for that. Like, so we got Bob Cunningham and Miss Tina Cunningham and Becky and
Rough Boys.
Yep, Rough Boys. Chris Summer Simmons, Lacey Dawn. Yep. Rob El Tigre, our Rob the Scratcher there. I love his stuff is so good.
Mr. Scratch.
Mr. Scratch. Yeah. So everybody's commenting, and it's so awesome to see all of this stuff. And we're grateful, that just everybody's got the support, the love and support, and is following along. And I know everybody's been sharing this too, even when we're done and they see it on their feeds. They've been sharing it. I've been getting a lot of good response to that too. So thank you everybody for that. And yes, I did want to do a shout out because all the ladies were commenting. Yes, everybody knows that men pretty much built this country, from the railroads to everything that went on. And the men in our lives support us and allow us to be our quirky, crazy selves as much as we support them. And I would never, ever live a day without remembering and reminding myself and everyone else, thank the men in your life. Because if it wasn't for my father, who was not mechanically inclined at all, to inspire me to want to learn mechanics, because he would burn most everything to the ground that we owned.
I do that too.
Yeah, my uncles who said, you're putting a starter in what? Oh, I had a 64 window wagon, and we wanted to go to a concert, and the starter went out, and I went to the auto parts store, and he's like, who's going to put that in? I'm like, I am. I said, it's 2 bolts. It can't be that hard, whatever. And he goes, you want me to call somebody before you turn the key? I'm like, no, I turned the key. He's like, holy shit, you did that. He's like, good for you. Like, you did that. But even still, to the point of I travel and we're doing stuff for our shop, I'm out on the road. Don is my huge support system. And as much as I am his, just like you are Miss Vicky's, and all of us women who get to do incredible things in our lives, we all grateful to the men in our lives. So just so you know, that's just something that I always want to make sure everybody knows. We love having you guys and having your support. And without you guys inspiring us to be our crazy, quirky selves, we wouldn't be here doing what we're doing. So thanks for that.
Most of us guys love women. There's a few that don't. There's a few that love somebody else, but most of us love.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Right. As long as you love somebody, what the heck?
That's right. Absolutely. So that's so cool. And I was really excited about Terry Components. And next week we'll have some more updates. I did get some video I gave to Miss Erin. I did figure out.
Justin's here.
Oh,
Justin Patterson, who who just won a bike.
Oh, I love that.
It's getting more and more people are winning bikes lately because more and more people are buying tickets, which is really a smart move.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
when we were on Chicks on 66, when we had at the end of the line, I was supposed to turn the Harley into Born Free, and Jason Sims had tagged it with all these stickers, right? And I had to fly out. So I went out to the parking lot and I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't take it to the show. He says, oh, I'll put it on the trailer and take it out there for you. And so I pulled all the stickers off and I wiped it off because I knew if I took them off, he would put more while we were riding. But it was a loaner from Harley. So he puts it on the truck, puts stickers back on it. I got yelled at for that. I had to explain that I didn't do that. And went there, dropped the bike off, and while he was there, he would have never been at Born Free. He wasn't even going. Bought 5 tickets to the raffle and won a freaking panhead. I was like, dude, that's half my bike. Like, I sent you there. I want half. I love Jason, but it's cool when that happens. You know what I mean? Because it just keeps it going. It's a good thing. And now you can get tickets for this on February 1st, I think.
Yeah, February 1st, people can start buying raffle tickets. So the museum has everything all set up, and they're able to sell raffle tickets 6 months before the drawing, but it can start on the 1st of the month, like 6 months. Prior.
And I'm glad you guys are building a chopper, and it's going to be a sensible chopper, not some stretched out thing that not everybody can ride. Well, I mean,
it's not going to be stretched out chopper type thing. You know what's really funny is when I first won this, before I decided I was going to give the motor up, the first thing that I actually said to him when he says, what are you going to do with this? I said, I'd like to build something that looks like an old bike, but it has this new motor in there. And he was like, oh, I don't know about that. I don't think you could do that. And guess what? You're going to do it. And so my dream is actually going to come true. It's just, it's not going to be mine. But, whoever wins it's going to have to be my friend forever.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We'll be able to ride it because it's going to be a street worthy bike. I mean, you can build some crazy ass beautiful show bike, but not everybody can handle those things with long front ends and Springer front ends. Not bike rides the same, but you guys are building a bike that anybody that rides will be able to ride that bike.
Well, and that's what, and Don and I both, we pride ourselves on that. We always say we build show bikes. They show up here, they show up there, they show up everywhere. Our slogan on the back of our shirt that says, "Warning, our choppers do not play well with trailers. They're built to ride." We had one customer, he came here from Afghanistan. He was over there. He had just gotten out of the military. He went home for 2 days, flew here. We had his bike all finished. And he rode from here to Oregon after we put the first couple 100 miles on it when it was done. And he called me 6 years later. He got run over. I'm in a car on top of the bike. And he said, "I need you to fix my bike." And I said, "Okay, well, did you tow it?" He said, "No, I rode it home." I was like, "What?" He goes, "There was a car on top of it." He goes, "A testament to what you do." I was like, "Okay, cool. Sounds good." And we redid it. But, that's that thing. It's you got to be able to ride it. It has to aesthetically be beautiful, but it has to function properly and be safe.
I don't want anything that's going to be parked in my garage and I take it out on Saturday to the bar so I can impress somebody.
No.
You gotta show up bike. My Panhead's a Wonder bike.
A Wonder bike?
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to start today.
I love you. I love you. That's funny. So cool. Well, again, everybody here, I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I can't thank you all enough. Thank you, Miss Vicki, for just including me in this.
Yeah, we may have to pull them back on again one of these days.
I love this motorcycle family. I've always loved the motorcycle community, but I've always had a really, like Charlie. He's got his inner circle, biker inner circle. I had a small inner circle. I still to this day really have a small inner circle of intimate friends that I really hang out with. But I came from a background where I hung out with a rough crowd, and we didn't go out looking. There I am
with Chopper.
Yeah, we out looking to make friends every morning, But since I met Vicki, I haven't been in any barroom brawls since I met her. I haven't stabbed anybody. I always say I haven't stabbed anybody since I met Vicki, but I really never stabbed anybody. I shot a guy once, but
you got stabbed.
Yeah, I got stabbed in a fight.
That's so funny. That's funny because
I met so many people through Vicki that I never thought I'd hang out with. Hog members and vintage riders and all these, none of those guys were like in my boathouse or wheelhouse or whatever they call it. I'm Sicilian, so I kind of ruined somebody's, what do you call those things? Sayings. Like, yeah. So I mean, whatever. But yeah, since I started meeting all these people, I'm going, it's just like when I stopped drinking. I used to drink a lot. And I ended up getting invited to a couple of parties from a couple of different clean and sober clubs. And they invited me, they kept telling me, "Come on, you can it'll be great, you'll have fun." And so I finally went to one in Madison, and I never knew you could have that much fun without alcohol. It was really a good time.
Absolutely.
And I'm learning that too. I'm meeting all these different people that I probably never would have hung out with or talked to much through Vicki, and it's all become part of my inner circle is expanding. It's still pretty tight, but the peripheral has grown exponentially. It's a lot of. I never had any problems. Like when I first got on Facebook, I think I had 5 friends, but then 3 of them blocked me, so I only ended up with 2, I think.
Some of his friends say I ruined him, but
but it's really cool because like even Teresa, she's on here, Teresa Martinez, and she's got it right on point. It's because Vicki is such a cool chick. She is. She's one of the coolest.
The guys I hung out with, the heavy duty guys,
Teresa's my sidekick.
Yeah, they said she ruined me, but they love her though. They treat her like a queen. But I don't.
We all love her.
I don't go out and be rowdy like I used to in the 70s.
Well, you and I are the same way because like I can honestly say that since I've been with Don, I have not been in. Well, I've been one scuffle and one in 25 years for me. That's pretty good odds.
We're going to talk to Don. We're going to talk to Don and get the real story.
I've only lost 1 fight in the last 10 years, I think. I wasn't having a fight that much anymore, but she cheated.
That's funny.
Anyway. So
all right. That's how you can support.
Yeah, there's ways people can get involved. They can support us. Of course, there's the raffle, absolutely. But I don't know if you can see this here. If you can't, you can go to our website, roadguardians.org, right on the front page, right underneath the header picture. You can click on that. That'll get you to Project Guardians, and it'll show you different ways that you can be involved in the project. We really want this to be a community build where we all come together to make this happen. And being here and hearing about this and being part of this, you're part of our story. And the story is as important as the motorcycle is. So
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
It's going to be a very special motorcycle. And I think everybody that's hearing this or hears about it should buy a ticket. You spend more than that in a couple hours in a bar.
Buy 5 tickets.
Yeah, buy 5 tickets.
5 for 100.
But I'm telling you, it's not a matter of, I'm buying a ticket. I might win the bike. I might not. Consider that a chance to win something. I know a lot of people play the lottery too, and then the chance of winning the lottery is a lot greater, less than winning this motorcycle. But they do it religiously, some people. But the point I'm trying to make is go out and spend that few bucks for these tickets, or buy 5 of them, and you might win. But if you don't win, you can take pride in knowing that you're helping to support the museum that's preserving our legacy. So people
and Road Guardians,
not can see who, not necessarily who we were, but who the bikers of this time were, and what the bikes look like. Because the bikes today are a lot different than they were back in the 60s when I started.
Absolutely.
But and you're also helping accident scene management to help save lives.
Right.
So it's an investment. It's an investment in our future, and you got a chance of winning a really cool motorcycle it's got real star power. It's going to have not parts made in who knows where. We're getting like Paco parts, Clockworks parts,
Terry components,
You're getting quality stuff made in America by Americans.
Yep.
And you're getting a bike that you can ride, not one that if I win it, I can't ride. I'll probably sell it. You're not going to want to sell this bike, especially when you hear the names of the people who are touching this bike.
Yep.
Not just loaning money. There's going to be some real star power having an active role in this build.
Yeah. And not only that too, you got to think about the fact that, and that's something that we get behind every time we build a bike, is if it's no fun, why do it? If you can't ride it, then it's no fun. It just sits in the garage. It's a waste. It's a waste of time, money, and effort. And this is absolutely not going to be anything like that, for sure.
Well, we're going to be drawing at the Perowitz Paint Show on Wednesday afternoon. So after the Hall of Fame breakfast is the Perowitz Paint Show. So toward the end, when they're going to be giving away the prizes and things, that's when we're going to do our drawing.
And I can't buy it.
During
same day as the breakfast.
Yeah, same day as the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's right after the Hall of Fame breakfast. It's over by.
We'll have the bike at the Hall of Fame breakfast, and then we're going to take the bike to the Perowitz Paint Show.
Who's going to take it?
Me. I'm riding it.
I probably never get to ride this one.
Well, we might let you ride it a little bit, but anyway.
I'm gonna need the Sicilian report on it after we finish it. I'm gonna need that.
I still ride helper with logistics. I've been practicing on my calculator.
Hey,
I've only made a few mistakes today.
Speaking of paint, in 2 weeks, I think 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to be talking to the painter. We're going to be talking to Robert
on here. I'll be talking to him this week.
So next week we're going to be talking to Glenn Larson, because we kind of had a little snafu last week, but we really want to get him on here.
Is that painter going to be at Mama Tried? Is he coming to Mama Tried? The painter?
No, he's not coming.
Oh, okay.
To Mama Tried. No,
I'll be there.
And then
good.
Yeah, and then on this,
you'll be here then.
Well, I'm doing my first show there, so I have my little film crew. So we'll talk about all that. But yeah,
good.
Miss Vicky's telling us something.
Yeah, that's okay.
I interrupt her all the time.
So we have Glenn Larson. We have Glenn Larson, and then the next week Robert.
Well, Glenn is next week, and then after that is going to be one of our parts guys. I'm kind of hoping Phipps. We can do that. I'd like him, and then Robert will be the week after that. So we've got people kind of lined up that we're going to keep talking to. Eventually, we got to get to Mike Hupy, who made that great donation, that $5,000 donation, so we can take the bike around and have it be seen. And we've got We will be talking to other people who are involved, like Rob and Tommy, who's going to be displaying the bike. We want to talk about that before Thunder Beach so he can explain his project. So we got a lot of people to talk to. So we're getting to you.
people that are watching this build or watching these programs as you're starting to do these updates, they have to realize, and most of them probably do, that building a bike, it starts all really slow because there's a lot of attention to detail and things have to be done right from the beginning. It's better to do it right the first time and have to go back and fix stuff. So it's going to be slow going for a while, but it's like any build. Once that motor's in the frame and once that transmission's there and the gas tanks are on and all the parts are being fitted before they go out to chrome or paint or whatever they're going to do, that's when it starts getting really exciting. And the closer we get to Sturgis, the more exciting. Well, it'll be exciting way before Sturgis because that bike will be on the road once it's done.
Way before, yes, absolutely.
So help build the momentum. I hope you guys sell a ton of tickets, and I hope I know who wins it too. I hope I know the person.
Wouldn't that be fun? That would be so exciting. But it's going to be electronic. It's going to be one of those electronic.
Yeah, nobody's sticking their hand in a barrel.
We have no idea. So there's
Erin.
Yeah, she's like, okay, she's going to play the music. It's time to end. We're supposed to do a half-hour show, and it's been over an hour. So anyway, it's been over an hour.
It's like my phone calls. I never keep track of that stuff. I'm going to go make pasta.
I'm going to go grill steaks because Don cooks everything else, but I'm the grill master.
Her audio's not working.
Kiss that puppy for me.
Gotta get Chopper.
Here's my puppy. There's Chopper. Look at the dog. Maya, look at the
dog. Look at those fur babies. All right. Okay, everybody, kiss a puppy or whatever. Somebody with fur in their face.
Kiss a puppy, pet a cat, hug a man.
Okay, so Erin, you can do our outro if you want. Thanks everybody for joining tonight.
Love you guys.